C, challenge cycles. If you're like me, most times in life, we get started on things and then life happens, a distraction comes along, we lose our momentum, and we kind of fall flat, right? Think about the number of times folks have each January made these resolutions about what they're going to do and what they're going to become and how they're going to be in the gym every day. And then they find themselves by March or April losing that steam, losing that motivation because life happens, because stuff comes along. And so they kind of have to go back to the drawing board. Or perhaps you're the person who saw something online and you said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And so you bought it. And then when you go into your basement, it's filled with reminders of all the stops and starts that you've had. Well, in order to create and protect our peace, right, we've got to challenge the cycles. We've got to really take a hard look at ourselves. We've got to do the hard work. We got to look at the spaces, the things that we've tried before, and we've got to realize that, there are some times in our lives we've started and then we stop. We started, then we stop. We start. What were those cycles? What happened to throw you off track? What did you succumb to that created difficulty for you? What was in front of you or inside your head that prevented you from achieving the goals that you set for yourself? Most times we are creatures of habit, right? So we fall into familiar patterns and cycles. In order to protect our peace, we've got to challenge the cycles. Why do we do that? So that we can recognize the behavior when it rears its head, and we can plan for it. So that when that behavior, when that familiar circumstance arises in the future, while we're protecting our peace, we have then developed a defense to address the thing, the circumstance, the situation, the voice that is trying to throw us off track and dump us into that familiar pattern of self-sabotage, dump us in that familiar pattern of complacency, dump us in that familiar pattern of giving up right before your breakthrough. In order to protect your peace, we've got to challenge the cycles.